right? Okay, we should be live. Ooh, 13 frames. We got a terrible signal right now. There we go. Okay, so, no, commercial. I'm sure you guys are watching the side of my head. I apologize. Oh, and of course now the neighbor's going to decide to mow the lawn. All the fun things that happen here. Okay, let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm trying something different. I have a lavalier mic plugged into my my setup here so you guys can hopefully hear me better. So let me know if you can hear me. I know there's a bit of a delay. So I'm just going to take off and I'll come back and check it. So we got a different setup here. I got a lot of interest last time I did this, and you know, so I'm making a video about how to actually do it. So that'll come out later this week. So this is going to be part of that. So if you comment on this video or whatever, then you will be famous. Something like that. All right, I'm taking off from this little table, which is probably not the best thing to do, but here we go. So I'm setting my point. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're going to go straight up in the air. All right, so let me just get to a safe spot here, and you guys can tell me how it sounds. All right, we're floating. I'm going to point the camera down a tiny bit. There we go. Let's see. How does that sound? Audio good. Hey. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so I'm trying to record the screen anyways. So if you guys are commenting or whatever, comment where you're from or something, and we can get you on the. Oops, strong interference. Of course, there's strong interference. I have a lot of things going on here, guys, so let's hope that we can make this work. Right now, I'm just flying out. Well, one thing I want to talk about... Oh, hold on. I'm going to record this. Because, that's a good idea. Yeah, so in the actual video that I'm going to make this week, I'll put the actual footage. Because I know when we're live streaming, the quality of the footage is not as good. So you're basically looking at, you know, kind of mediocre footage compared to what you'll get, you know, in the actual, from the actual drone. So I'm going to put some of this up as, in the video as footage. Because one thing I want to talk about is, I also have a lot of things going on here. So I'm going to stop for a second and see what we get here. Oh. What just happened there? I got a commercial. Oh God, sorry guys, if the commercials happen in the middle, I do not know why it's doing that. All right, so I'm gonna spin the drone around, hopefully not make people sick. And we're gonna actually try to step away from where this guy is doing the mowing the lawn. And we're just gonna fly out this way. So we're just kind of cruising around. One thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, and the reason why I decided to fly the drone again, not only is it just super fun, is like kind of the opposite of yesterday's video, which is the idea of like kind of having like higher production value. You know, for me, for instance, the drone is really an extra tool. You know, when I'm making videos to teach photography or whatever, I don't need to have a drone per se for this. But if I want to showcase something, you know, I'm somewhere and I want to show the area, this is just a good thing to like cut away to. It just adds a little value to the product that you're doing. And this can be true, you know, whatever kind of filmmaking you're doing, whether you're doing tutorial videos like I am, or you're doing, trying to talk and fly at the same time is not the easiest thing. Or, you know, just shooting vacation pictures or whatever. You know, I actually bought the Mini, Mavic Mini, I think it's called, for my sister last year. Because I knew that they did a lot of hiking and stuff, and I thought, you know, you guys go around, you even though they had a camera, they hardly ever carry it, because they could take pretty much the same picture on some level, you know, just quick vacation pictures with their phone, you know, so why bother? But with the drone, it's small, and you can kind of break it out and get shots that you wouldn't get. You know, you're not getting this with your phone. Wow, this is like the first really warm weekend we're getting. Look at all this traffic coming in. Jeez, go home. We don't want you here. No, I'm just kidding. I know there's something going on. We're flying towards Bear Mountain State Park. So, I guess as long as people stay in their cars, they're probably distanced enough, right? Oh, that's not a good sign. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let me pause here for a second. I'm just gonna take a peek. What's going on? Whoa. All right, we're gonna fly back. I think we have like a lot of things happening here. One thing you gotta be careful of, guys, with these is that if you've got too much stuff going on, I'm like screen recording this and doing this. So I think my iPad is like having a fit here. So I'm just gonna get the thing closer to me again. And then we're going to, hold on. One thing that I've learned, although you can't really see it, I guess you'll see because I'm doing screen recording, is if you're having signal issues, you can go to kind of this like overhead map where you're looking at almost like maps like you would drive to, and you can use that to fly. It's not as pretty, obviously, but then you know this way you are. Let's see. All right, I'm flying back. Let's see what everybody's saying. Oh wow, you guys are all over the place. Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot of really weird signal. One of the issues with the drone is that if there's a lot of stuff going on, I mean, you're basically throwing. It's probably because what I should do. I'm gonna do something here. What I should do is stop the screen recording on the iPad, but I don't know if I can do that while I'm here. So I think the iPad is getting beat. So let me fly this thing back to me, and then we're gonna try that. Oh yeah, mobile CPU is having an issue. So let me just fly this back to me. At least so I know where it is if something happens. And what I'm going to do here is give me like 2 minutes, guys. I'm gonna come back up. So I'm gonna just stop. Okay. Let's see if this is better now, guys. So I was basically trying to do a screen capture on the iPad while I was doing this. And I think this iPad is like 5 years old, so it was getting beat. So hopefully this is gonna work better now. Oh, I think I'm up again. So one cool thing about doing the RTMP, which is, I'll talk about this in the video that I'm gonna make, is that you can jump back into it. So if you did like a regular kind of basic YouTube capture, or whatever you want to call it, you would not be able to kind of jump back in to the same stream. But because we're using the same stream key, we're basically going to be able to get back in, essentially. And here we are, we're back in. Let me just make sure we're actually back up. No, I'm saying that. Oh, I see what's going on here. I have a lot of things going on here. Let's quit that. Yep, we're back up. Cool. All right, let me make sure I can see. I'm just gonna float it here for a second so we can see. Yep. So basically we've got, we should get a better signal now. Should. I normally use, like I said, my iPhone for this, but I thought I would use the iPad because it has a separate input for audio. So that's why I'm able to use this lavalier mic. So hopefully I sound better than I did last time. But this should be better. Oh yeah, here we go. We'll visit these people over here. They got a good view of the lake. They probably don't want to get swept, so I'll get up high. So I'm about 80 meters up right now. And we can kind of see, we're getting more green in the trees now. Ooh. I'm going to fly back this way. There's always interference in that direction. If you fly in the same areas a lot, you start to really see, like certain areas. Like I know there's always interference over there, so I don't want to go that far. Battery. God damn it. Okay. All right, I'm coming back again. Okay. coming home. All right, I'm going to swap the battery out, guys, and I will we'll come back up in a second. Whoa, we're having all kinds of trouble because you don't want to hear that thing beeping the whole time. So I will. I'll be back in about 5 or less minutes. Hang out. Okay, so I'm back. Couple of things, guys. When you record video as you're flying, it eats up more battery. When you live stream and fly, it eats up more battery. So that's just something new that I'm learning here as far as like maintaining the battery. If I'm just flying it for fun, I can get like 14, 15 minutes out of it. Easy, you know, before I have to fly it home. If I'm recording, it's a little less. And this seems to eat a decent amount. I'm also trying to stream in 4K, I think, which probably is not a good idea because it's definitely not taking a 4K stream. So that all factors in. So there's a couple of questions that I had, or statements, which I hear people repeat over and over again on the internet. License, it really depends on the size of the drone and where you live. You don't need a license for this size drone, at least not in New York or anywhere in the US, really. You should register it, though, like mine's registered, to make sure that, number one, if something does happen, that they can find out whose drone it is and whatever. And it just keeps everything nice and safe. The other thing is, as far as flying too close to airports and stuff, the only way you can do that is if you hack your drone. Any of the good drones like the DJI, they won't let you fly. Like there's areas around here that I've tried to fly because I didn't realize I was close to something. As soon as you set the drone up, it literally will not take off. So, you know, this whole... I know a guy that flew across an airport. It's just, I don't know how they're doing it unless they're hacking their drones. And then that's just an idiot, I'm sorry. If you fly safely, just like anybody, any other thing, you just need to be safe, you know? Follow the rules. The rules are there for a reason. You're not above the rules. So this is totally allowed to fly in this area, and I'm not flying over people, clearly, or close to people, and I'm not flying near an airport, so it's 100% safe. I mean, you definitely don't want to get hit by a flying drone. I mean, they're not heavy, but they do move. So yeah, but the thing is like, again, how many? The reason why I'm kind of a fan for this is it's just a different thing. Like I keep saying, it's a different way of looking at things, and kind of seeing angles and stuff that you wouldn't have really seen before. Oh. All right, let's see. Man, there's a lot of interference out there today. I'm gonna have to stay really close, guys. All right, I'm gonna come back. We are not having the flight was much better last time. There must be some stuff going on. You will find that some days you're just gonna have issues, you know, getting a good signal if you start trying to fly the thing far away from where you're at. So let's spin it back around again. Let's see. So one thing you have to do is you can't force it. This is where I'm learning in this thing, is that like basically where I'm at right now, I'm having kind of a low signal issue. So I need to just be very careful about like how much I jerk my controller until I can start seeing the movement. So I'm just doing little bits at a time. And it's good too, especially if you're flying the same area. Like if you're new to it, you should try to fly the same area a lot. Like I know like that lake right there, which is kind of close to my house, is a good landmark for me, and I can see it from miles away. So if I ever find myself in a situation, again, you have the maps as an option to come back. Of course, you can just hit fly home and it'll come home. And as well as that, look for something that you know where it is. Like for instance, this road with this lake. So I'm just gonna do a flyby here. So I'm basically, and also the remote too, guys. I see people fly drones all the time, and I'm wondering why they're not doing it. Again, people should read directions. That your remote has an antenna on it, and you want to point the antenna towards where the drone is. That's going to be a lot better for you. Yes, this is better. We're getting a better signal now. Now we're getting our full 30 frames. I'm just going to see, it's probably going to use my battery, but I'm going to do a little recording as we kind of fly out here. So I'm about 120 meters up, which is basically a little bit 119 basically. 120 is like the maximum. And again, you can go into this thing and set it to fly higher, but it's not legal in most places to fly, in the US, to fly higher than 119. So don't fly higher than 119. I mean, it's that simple. No. Is that somebody fishing? Let's see what they're doing over there. I'm not going to fly right over their head again. It's dangerous. Just kind of circle around. See what we see. Do a little spin. Oh yeah, they got some stuff over there. It's a way to see what your neighbor's got going on. Oh, actually, if you see, let's see if I can stop here. When I actually shot a video like right there. Let's see if I can fly down lower. I'm not going to go too low, because if I get too low, I'm going to go below where I can see it, because there's trees between me and it. So I'm just going to go on a bit. But there's some hiking trails over here. That we can see. And you can kind of see the darkness there, where the water comes through. Here you can like hike right along this path here. Cool. Let's sit there for a second. I got plenty of battery, so you're always checking your battery. Got about 8 minutes. Let's see what we got. Hold on, I see no signal. No. Let's see, flying. Yeah. The thing is that if you're going to, yeah, I mean, drones are one of those things, like many things, where there's so many stories going around the internet about some idiot that did something. So everybody's so paranoid. These things are really regulated. I mean, you kind of can't screw it up unless you really try. You know, they literally will not fly for the most part where they're not supposed to fly. Always keep it updated. Every time I fire this thing up, it actually has me update the registration of where things can be. There's also software that you can get that will give you maps of where you can be ahead of time. You know, there's just so many things that you can do. And this is because I'm using the DJI software. Now, I can tell you that I knew a guy that bought some third-party software that added some extra features to his drone, so he was using that instead, and it actually flew in a place it shouldn't have, and it crashed, you know, and he basically lost his drone. And that's because he, again, used something he shouldn't have used. It's like, don't think that you're above the rules, and you'll be fine. You know, these companies are very careful to make sure that these things are safe, otherwise they would go out of business, because nobody would be able to buy them. But I think, you know, if you're going to do any kind of filmmaking, this kind of footage is practically, you know, a given at this point. And they're so small and so easy to carry with you and so cheap. It's worth an investment if it's something that you're going to be looking into doing. I know I was happy to buy mine. And even, like I say, for recreation stuff, like when I go on, like, quote, vacation, I don't bring my cameras anymore. I bring my drone because it's so much more fun. I mean, I check first to make sure you can fly it where I'm going. But I get so many more interesting shots with this than I ever would get with a camera standing on the ground. You know, the exceptions would be if you do kind of specialized stuff. You do macro, you know, those kind of things. Again, that's also giving yourself a different perspective in the world. But being able to fly, if we could get into the parks, most of the parks are closed right now, so maybe I'll do another shoot when we do that. There's all these modes built into these that can do all kinds of like fun stuff. So you don't even have to be like an expert at flying the thing to be able to get kind of cool, funky shots, almost like presets for a drone. Next thing you know, they'll be doing like a Rembrandt lighting. All right, so I'm going to stay here for a second over the lake because I know I'm not over anybody's head. Let me make sure everything's still good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're doing good here. Yeah, I'm on a coffee break. What is cool though, so I'm going to talk about this in the video I'm making, guys, actually. So if you are interested in drones, I'm going to have this video come out this week. There's a couple of different ways we can do this. So when I did it the last time, I did it via just the quick stream, I guess you would call it. And that's cool, and it's fast. But if you do like what's called RTMP, you actually can leave the stream open in a sense. So that's why I was able to actually stop it and then start it again. So if you're going to do long drone flights, it's a good option because you can actually bring the drone back, change the battery. Of course, obviously people watching are going to have a bit of a delay, but you can come back, do these, switch the battery out, and then keep the same live stream, so you don't have to be doing multiple streams. So that's what I was working on today. All right, cool. Well, I've only got a few minutes left. I'm flying back towards my house now. I will kill the stream here. I'll come back. Oh, tomorrow, guys, by the way, if you don't follow me already on Twitch, I think I'm going to go on Twitch tomorrow because I have some stuff from the last couple of things I've done to edit. So I'll probably do an editing video tomorrow on Twitch. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.